Hello and welcome to the Dressing Gown Diaries. I'm Lloyd and we'll start off with a review of round 3 and then we'll move forward to a preview of round 4. Now I don't know about you, but the difference in class between the Six Nations and the Southern Hemisphere I think is now wider than it has ever been. The skill sets we saw in week 3, quite frankly, were atrocious. There were missed opportunities all over the place, handling errors, inability to fix players, pass, move on, get away from the contact area quickly, secure the ball quickly. The absolute basics, the fundamentals. You know, there's a lot of press talk recently about whether tackling should be removed from school age rugby. You know, we've got to look at what New Zealand have done. They play weight category. They don't play age, they play weight. Now what this gives you is you are playing guys of a similar size. You're playing against people of a similar build. So what does it hone? It hones your handling skills, which are essential in rugby. Essential at the ability to fix a man, put someone in space. So, you know, looking over what happened, it all kicked off in week 3 with Welsh win against the French. To be quite honest, a pretty poor game again. Too much involvement from the TMO, too much defensive play from both teams. France really don't show what game plan they have. What are they trying to achieve? And Wales were just trying to use their battering rams of Jamie Roberts again. If there was no quick ball, they'd look for Faletau to get over the game line and maybe Gareth Davis snipe. All in all, it was dull, it was boring. This isn't what we want from our international rugby. And we were served up with pretty much the same crap at Twickenham. But what we did see first off though in Rome, that was an exciting game. The Italians were in the match. Scotland drove forward, scored some great tries, then found a way to potentially lose the game. But finally, at the 9th time of asking, they secured the win that they've so desperately been seeking in the Six Nations. And in my mind, at the moment, out of all 6 teams, Scotland, I think, offer far more of an attacking threat. They have worked out how to find space. They've worked out how to expose the mismatches that, you know, so many of the commentators talk about with props in the line. That's where you run at them at pace and move off their shoulders because they can't cover it quick enough. Italy, you know, they still rely heavily on Sergio Parisse. The crowd got them moving, but it was all a little bit too much, a little bit too late. Then we move forward to Twickenham. Oh, Twickenham. Again, the referee desperate to get involved. You know, Wayne Barnes made an appearance in the Principality Stadium on Friday night. And did we have anything different on Saturday? It's the same stuff. Too eager to get involved with the TMO, chat about whether this was a try, that was a try. Did they get all the decisions right? Of course they bloody didn't. You know, it's the question you ask. Is there a reason I can't award this try when CJ Henry went over, or whatever his name was, the Irish guy? That, you know, 10 years ago, that would have been given as a try. There was no reason. Yeah, you can't see the grounding, but it's pretty obvious at that pace going forward that he's got the try. Dylan Hartley, you know, was he dragged forward? Did he misplace the ball? It was a harsh call to give a penalty. I think it probably was the right one. And now listening to this week, Jamie Haskell coming out going, well, maybe we shouldn't have shown it in super slow-mo. Mate, you were lucky not to be red carded. You led with your arm. You got nowhere near attacking Jonathan Sexton. You took him out. And Mike Brown, oh, he's a horrendous individual. You know, everyone that plays rugby or has played it knows that player safety is crucial. They also know that if the player on the floor, you can't just go flailing your legs and kicking at it. The fact that Conor Murray is not blinded is a miracle. As Brown had about 5 attempts, smashing backwards and forwards, keep going. If there's any issues on the pitch, Mike Brown is in the middle of it. He is the guy there grabbing people by the back of their shirts, pulling them up, pushing people away, throwing balls at someone. I mean, this is not, he's anti-rugby. This is not what the whole sentiment, the spirit of the game is about. He is an idiot. And the sooner someone smashes him, I cannot wait. So let's have a look at what games we've got coming up this weekend. Well, we've certainly got a title decider, but we'll start off with Ireland trying to get their Six Nations back on track, taking on Italy at home. Now, this surely should be an Irish win, but you know the way they've been playing, loose of, you know, they're running out of players. They seem to be devoid of ideas as well. They look like a poor Irish side, but I still think they'll have enough to get over an Italian side who are probably staring down the barrel of a whitewash again. but all attention has got to be on Twickenham for the 4 o'clock kickoff for England against Wales. Tuilagi is back in the squad. It's not announced whether he's in the team because I'm recording this on Tuesday evening. The reason it's a little bit early, I'm going skiing tomorrow, so I've got to make sure I get it off to your avid DGD viewers. I've had some heat from a couple. The Maymonator has been on to me quite aggressively saying, look, Lloyd, seriously, where is it? We need the DGD. So I've made special efforts just for him to make sure I've recorded it in time and that we're ready to go. So what kind of game are we expecting at Twickenham? Unfortunately, I think it's going to be an absolute arm wrestle. It'll be a game of attrition. The Welsh have already come out saying, they don't care if they win 3-0. Neil Jenkins has come out in the week saying, I don't understand why we're getting abused. We've just beaten France for the fifth time, and that's the first time we've ever done that, fifth time in a row. Why aren't people happy? And then you've got Sir Clive Wayward coming out saying, well, Wales are pragmatic, they're playing well, they're getting the results. Wales have turned into England. They have become very pragmatic and they've lost some of their flair. And that's why some of the Welshmen out there are getting a bit angry about their lack of desire and a lack of focus going forward. So where are England at the moment? Vinopola, Billy, has played incredibly well, carried very, very strongly. Still can't decide what the hell's going on at scrum half. Both players come on, try to do too much, forgetting that actually the whole job of scrum half is get the ball away from the contact area, get it to your fly half, create space outside, rather than trying to rush defences, tap and goes and all this kind of stuff and getting involved. George Ford clearly not playing at his best. Farrell, how's he doing at 12? He's actually played quite well. He's not a player I'm particularly fond of, but I think he's passed quite flatly, which I like. He's not done anything too spectacular. The wingers have done what they've been asked. It's the same question for Wales and England. Can both teams find a way of releasing the back three? Are we just going to be in for aerial bombardment after bombardment with very few runs forward? An interesting stat, and I'd ask you, the Dressing Gown Diary viewers out there, to perhaps keep a record at the weekend. In the game at Twickenham, count how many times Mike Brown and Liam Williams passed the ball in the whole match. Because I watched it at the weekend. Liam Williams didn't pass once, and Mike Brown only passed once. They've both got this into their head that their best way to attack is drive forward, go forward, blah, 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 blah. They never really get anywhere. They get wrapped up, lose the ball, pace goes down. How can people not fix players and pass? It's a skill that's lost. If the front row from the Kiwi front row can do it, why the bloody hell can't the backs from the Northern Hemisphere teams? But that's another debate entirely. The weekend finishes off with Scotland taking on France at home. Scotland will be hoping for back-to-back wins, and there's no reason why they can't. France are devoid of ideas and don't really know what they're doing. So this is a great opportunity for Scotland to secure a second win and go into the final game against Ireland, pushing for their third victory, which will be a great Six Nations. So Freddie's flutter for the weekend. I am, not that controversially, I'm backing Wales to win at Twickenham. It won't be by much. I think on the spread, bet Wales are 3-5. I see value in that at even money. So get your money on. Freddie's flutter is back Wales on the handicap. Over and out. Enjoy your six halves of rugby at the weekend, and we'll catch you on the other side.